Okay.
Rich. Here. Shannon Davidson. Neil Metcalf. Here. Bill Klaus. Here. Jimmy Cannon. Here. Rob Martin.
Here. Let the record show we do have a forum, and first order of business is site development plan for Kentucky Boats, 2000-2002 Simpson Lake.
So we all got a copy of the project plan in your file. Greg, if you will come on up and tell us who you are, who you're with, and what you're involved in the project.
Yeah. Sure thing. So my name is Grace Morstad. I'm from Banks Engineering in Newfield, Kentucky. And we got involved in this project. M.P. Kelly is the contractor on this, and they asked us to get together a development plan and help them run it through the planning process. So in front of you, you can kind of see we've got a roughly 21,000 square foot building. And they are, so the McDonald's building is gone. I'm not sure how long it's been gone for, but you will probably know better than I do. But they're planning on utilizing the existing BP gas station and remodeling it, and then building onto it of sorts.
How about that?
Yeah, let me show you.
This property here?
No, it's the existing property.
Right here.
It's
Yeah.
existing McDonald's and BP.
This is the BP, this is the McDonald's, it's no longer there.
And then just north of that is for the storage facility, right? 3020?
Yeah, what we just did the other day, or a couple weeks ago. It's up here.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the old McDonald's building that's no longer there. This is the BP building. If you look on the plan, you'll see something that says existing canopy to remain. This is the existing canopy. And again, this is the existing building. That was one of the things on my list. We're going to do a consolidation plat on these two lots.
Correct.
Okay. If y'all want me to go over my list first, we can do that, and then maybe that'll jar some questions for you all. Greg, the signature line for Whitehall Water District should actually read Madison County Utilities Water District.
Okay.
And it's the same down in the public utility section. You've got Gulf Gas down there. I don't, is that?
That's what the.
where they came from?
Those are the big transmission
Is that
lines that are
Gulf?
across.
Okay.
They were labeled as Gulf. I'm not.
I'm showing that as Texas transmission, but I don't think they cross your property anyway, do they?
They don't know. They're on the northern property
Yeah.
on the other side of Simpson Lane.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
they can maybe just come off the list, I guess.
Yeah, I need to put them on there. You need to put a signature line on there for them, I think. No. I really kind of need a legend on here somewhere showing me what's what. Showing me your utility shown, your fire hydrant. I had adjacent zoning on my list. I see here you've got Harwell listed. Is that the only adjacent property that's not a road or the interstate?
Yes.
It is, yeah. And so I think everything around
Okay.
there is the
It
same.
is,
size.
it is. I'm pretty sure. Can you show the building square footage on the, I know you've got it up here, but just show it on the plan somewhere down here. It's just on the building itself. You've got it broken down up here, but I'm just looking for a, well, actually, I like the way you got it broken down, so don't worry about that. You said you're gonna do a consolidation, plat, a drainage plan, drainage calculations for your runoff, retention, that kind of stuff.
We will do that, yes, during the construction plans. Do you?
Well, I want to see a copy of that, for them to approve your construction plan, they need to see a copy of that to make sure that all the runoff's being accounted for.
Okay, yeah.
Landscaping plan showing, which you won't be required to have any buffers, but you will have, interior landscaping and that kind of thing that we'll want to see a copy of. I didn't see anywhere on here, any kind of signage that you're proposing, either the types, location, size, that kind of thing. We need to make sure that we get all your signage. You allow a wall sign, and then you go with freestanding sign.
Okay.
I don't know what their plan is, but we'd like to see those shown on here.
Okay.
And then I didn't see a signature line or a certification line for your company or you. I see the owners and then ours, but I didn't see one for you all.
We need one for us as well?
Yes. And that was everything on my list. Did y'all make a copy of this? I'm just gonna give him this. There's a copy in there. You can go in there and try to burn him a copy of that.
Where is that property line between the two properties being consolidated, both
That's
properties?
what I asked him if they were gonna consolidate those two lots, and he said they were. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that
Yeah.
consolidation submitted.
So is the boat storage for boats that you guys are selling or working on, or will you be renting out boat storage spaces?
So my understanding is the boat storage will actually be kind of like a dry stack almost, where people can pay to come drop their boat off, and they'll come and put it actually on a lift inside that building, and they can store it for however much time.
And that's my understanding too. They're gonna have a sales room, sales display, they're gonna have a service department for repairs, and then just strictly dry stack storage according to my conversations with the owner.
Just out of curiosity, did they remove those fuel tanks? Was a BP station, or do you know?
I heard that they were supposed to remove them. I'm not sure if that's happened or not yet.
Yeah, they'll have to comply with underground tank storage Frankfurt people before they'll let them do anything on that.
How tall of a building is it? The storage? Does it say it? I'm not seeing it.
That's a good question. I have architectural sections and elevations of the building, but off the top of my head, I'm not sure how tall that is.
Yeah, that might be something I'll look at. That's a good question. We have some pretty stingy restrictions on our building height in that zone, so it might be something we want to look at.
Because I've seen boat stores like that where you can put 5 boats tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 50 or 60 feet, so I think is what the restriction is. I don't have my code book with me, but that's something.
Yeah, I'll check on that, and then I'll get that labeled on the plan.
Okay.
I take the drainage plan to be different than what was there before.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that there was ever any kind of calculations done on that building that was there before. One of the reasons we're here doing it now, and I don't know how much that would change.
What if you went 50 or 60 feet?
Yeah.
It would change on that left side where that McDonald's was for sure. If you're gonna make that storage 50 feet.
Yeah, but are you adding, how much impervious surfaces are you adding? Are you adding parking? Are you taking parking away? So that's kind of why we want to redo the calculations to make sure we're accounting for all that, yeah. And I don't see any detention or retention on site anywhere, so
So there's none shown currently, but there's a note, I believe there's a note on there about stormwater management notes over there on the right-hand side. If we need to provide detention on this site, because as far as I can tell right now, there's no detention on site. It looks like it just goes kind of under, through a culvert system along Simpson Lane and goes down across and then goes under towards.
obviously quite a bit of site to develop, so I would think you'd have to have some kind of detention.
Okay.
How many acres is it all good?
It's 2.52
Combined?
acres combined, both lots
Yeah,
combined.
and there's a lot of pavement and blacktop there, so.
There
it
is.
works. So I suspect you probably have to have some somewhere. And when you do those calculations, you show them on the plan that you bring back for the final approval.
Okay. Yeah, and so if that's the case, we need to provide detention. It will most likely be underground detention.
Okay.
So probably under the parking lot, right out there in front of the boat
Wasn't
storage.
there a header wall?
How will that form
On that northern parcel that we looked at on the other side of Simpson Lane that was actually a drainage.
Yeah, but it goes away from the property, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it went under the interstate, but maybe.
It does, but it's up in this area right here. it's right in here, so that might be it right there. Let me turn this zoning off. That might be it right there, and it all drains like here and then goes under the interstate.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get over to this property at all. These purple lines are off obviously a little bit when they did the redesign of the interchange. Just for your all's knowledge as well, this is old Simpson Lane right here that is now, doesn't go anywhere, it dead ends right up here. They put this connector road in to access these properties, but it doesn't really benefit anybody. And the county is responsible for maintaining, so we had that conversation with both property owners about deeding that property, to them in some form or fashion. Don't know if that's gonna happen or not. If it did, this plan would change a little bit, and the storage area plan would change a little bit, but it would benefit the county, a half mile or whatever road there that they would have to be responsible for maintaining, would benefit the property owners, because they get roughly, by some calculations, an acre of land, on the interstate for, whatever the cost of putting some kind of turnaround right here for a snowplow. And then the county didn't have to worry about it. The county would maintain this, but then they would release all this. Don't know if that's gonna happen. I just give you all that background in case that did happen, and we had to tweak the plan a little bit. But I don't know why I got stopped there. I don't remember what the question was.
It's about drainage.
Drainage.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I don't think that head wall that you're talking about will affect this property at all.
No, I was just saying as far as a tying is concerned, if they're doing it underground.
Yeah, well, that'll be on them, I guess, to figure out where the best place to put that is and to discharge it from the property, but, yeah, that plan is, we've got that plan.
Since that canopy stand, do they have to remove the tanks on this site and they're not building on them?
That's a question for,
It's a due diligence type question.
yeah, that's for the underground storage. I think obviously, if they don't do what Frankfurt State needs them to do, that'd be bad on them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But it's my understanding that the tanks aren't gonna be removed.
I don't think that station, I mean, time goes by fast, and that station's probably been there.
It used to have a Bluebee in it.
The heart is
Been there 20 years?
At
I
least.
said that, very close to it, cause it was there when I was working, I've been retired.
My 15th year will be next week.
It's been there before 98.
Yeah.
Even it comes up, so.
96.
I guess it just goes by fast, I guess. So anyway, all right, anybody else say anything?
So is the only outdoor boat parking is just these two areas right here? Or is that what and this is regular parking here, or?
The city mayor wishes boat display parking.
Yeah, just those two places?
Yeah, that, and I think the plan is, if they end up not needing, parking requirements were pretty significant because of the square footage at 39. So they've shown those on there with the hope that if maybe, they don't need all of those for whatever reason, they can also park boats there. And if they get needed that drive in front of it, obviously that can be used for boat display too.
Okay.
They only have indoor displays,
That's
what?
correct, yeah, part of the building where it says boat sales and display.
Right,
That would have indoor places where they could,
and the outside would just be these two areas right here.
correct.
He's not submitted a preliminary plat. On this application says preliminary plat.
I don't have the application from me, it's not a preliminary plat, it's site
It
development.
says application for development, preliminary plat approval.
Yeah, development or preliminary plat approval, it's the same application.
He will do a preliminary, on the plat to have it.
They'll do a plat separate from this, it's just a consolidation plat for the two lots, right?
Casey, anyone have any other comments or concerns? That's all. Okay, next on our agenda is final subdivision plat for Travis, land subdivision plat.
There's probably a couple of you out here that don't remember when this preliminary plat was approved, because it was some time ago. How long ago was that?
I can't tell you exactly how long ago it
It's
was.
been a while, but anyway, they've been working on it a long time, they maintain their construction progress on it, but this is out there next to the fairgrounds on Old Urban Road. I've got one map here, I can show you.
How's it working?
It's not, here's the fairgrounds right here, this kind of, whatever shape that is, geometry was never my strong point. But it's these 3 tracks right here, which have since been, did y'all get that recorded? Consolidation. Yeah, these 3 tracks right here were consolidated into one and then subdivided, or will be subdivided by this final subdivision plat, creating, how many lots? 48 on this phase, and then probably another 48 or so on the second phase. I think it was 88 lots or something on the preliminary. I don't remember how it exactly worked out. But these lots roads are in, the infrastructure's in. They have not temporarily, but they have done a widening of old urban road. If y'all remember, that was part of it, because it was substandard. They had to widen urban road.
They gotta
Old
put,
urban road.
they gotta put a cap on that.
They do.
I saw when they widened it, I thought this.
18 months, I think they have to do that in. But we've actually, we're requiring a separate letter of credit just for that cap, and then a separate letter of credit just for the infrastructure for the actual phase of the subdivision itself. Which I emailed you back today about those letters. Did you get that?
I don't know if I saw it. I've been out of the office,
Okay.
but yeah, but I.
Check it out, because what he sent me is not a letter of credit. It's a letter from him saying they have a line of credit there. That's a little bit different. Irrevocable letter of credit is actually a banking instrument that they have to submit with the beneficiary and a procedure for calling that letter, and specific description of what it covers and that kind of thing. It's a pretty good email as far as what you need, and if you want to just forward it to your banker or have your client do that, that's fine. But we'll have to have those before we can approve the final plat. I didn't see anywhere on here, well, I do see it right there now. I gotta start looking at these things a little closer. It reminded me, I didn't pull the preliminary out there, but these streets, they connect in the back here, right?
That's correct.
They're not 3 separate streets. Okay, because I want to make sure that it's got Candy Apple Lane on here twice. I thought I remembered that. Again, a legend on here, if you don't mind showing me where the fire hydrants are, what these, sewer manholes. I'd like you to show me the existing catch basins and head walls, outlets, that kind of thing, where they went, where they ended up finally going. I know they're on the preliminary, but there should be, I don't remember, but make sure that they're showing there. So I'd like you to show me a detail on green space, because you're doing high density here. You have to have a certain percentage of green space. I see here now you've got square footage for each one.
So it says lot GS, is that green
That's
space?
green space. You got 1, 2,
3, 4.
I saw it. Where's the third?
The third one is kind of hidden. It's above. It's 2 lots above green space number 1.
It's this one out here, like a half lot.
2 lots above? Oh, green space right there. Yeah, if you could just show me the percentages, so I can make sure that checks out. And, again, any signage, you know if they're proposing a sign at each street, one for the whole thing, what kind of subdivision signs they're gonna put up. There's a light required at the entrance, and you can add to the note number 5, the HOA will be responsible for maintaining that light. I don't know if they're proposing lights in the whole subdivision, which they're not required, but lights are required at the entrances. So that needs to be shown and added to the note about who's maintaining them.
These lots in front here, they will access the new road.
If you look at note number 4, Robert, that's one of the things we did on our preliminary. All lots have to access from the new street.
It's probably premature, but they'll need to do something about, since we're doing this in a phase, that turnaround will have to be opened up. I was out today, waiting on wait for a bus to turn around.
Yeah, well, that was temporary cul-de-sacs. When they build on that, that'll be gone.
I'm saying, if they sell this and build houses, if somebody moves in, they'll need to allow for a bus to just turn around.
I don't know, I haven't seen the road department signed off on it. Or, he's told me he's not signed it yet, but Said he was
It's
found.
gonna be difficult to back one of those 60-foot buses.
Yeah,
in the
that
truck.
candy apple thing goes all the way around there. I know, so that one, they wouldn't have to turn around, they just have to pull in and then pull back out. The one in the middle goes back and it hits Candy Apple back there somewhere.
I'm saying, they sell this and build houses on front, and then move to the next phase, once houses are established and people moved
Well,
in.
when you approve this, they can sell out.
These
That's
two,
what I'm saying, they have to make sure there's a way for a
Yeah,
bus to
that
turn
road's
around.
already
temporary turnaround easement.
The road's already built.
But it wasn't labeled out there when I went out.
And this one goes up back too.
So you're saying there's not a temporary cul-de-sac there?
The road's
Well,
already
there's
built.
gravel out there.
Yeah, that's what they're calling a temporary cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I don't know if the bus can turn around, they take a look at city.
But the road's already going around there. It's already, the road's
Yeah, I
already
can
connected.
defer to the road department on that, because they got to turn a snowplow around too. If you turn a snowplow around, you can turn a bus around.
The bus is a lot longer, so.
Yeah, yeah, as long as there's gravel. I mean, it's not gonna be a paved turnaround, it's gonna be gravel.
Right,
Yeah.
right, I'm getting that.
And we have,
Right.
there's money in the letter of credit.
So this is.
They figured in having to complete those cul-de-sac if something happens and the developer walks away. So there's money in there to cover if the county has to go in there and finish it. That's all I have on my list.
Anyone have any comments or concerns?
What about the post office box or mailbox?
Yeah.
We got the signature line on here, the last signature line for the postmaster, so you'll have to, yeah, I mean, that's something that we battle in here, because the postmaster came to us at one time and said, we want you to account for space to put our mailboxes. And then we kind of went back and forth with some developers and made some of them put them in, and didn't make some of them, so I would strongly encourage you to make sure you got room to put those mailboxes. Sometimes they want them in clusters. The way they've done the last couple of subdivisions is they've let them put maybe one cluster for 8 houses, and then another cluster for 8 more houses. Instead of each individual property having a mailbox, there would be a cluster, like Twin Lakes did that. So you've got 2 houses, mailbox cluster, 2 houses. That's 8 houses, and it's right in the middle is a cluster for all that. And then you go 4 more houses, and there's another cluster. So I just want to make sure and what they're talking about is make sure you've got room to add those in there, because they're not gonna let you put mailboxes on every lot. That's a new thing they started a couple of years ago.
I've got a question too on the school buses. Do they go to every house to pick up kids, or do they just pick up so many houses in one spot?
Yeah, I think it depends on the neighborhood. I think it depends. I think some of them, they make the kids all meet at one central
Well,
location.
and if that happens, then there'll have to be some kind of you kind of need to know that, because something will have to be built there.
School board is invited to the DRT meetings. They've never been to one that I've known of in 15 years. So that's only, they don't want to come to the meeting. If they had a suggestion, want to come say, hey, we want you to put a standing area right here for us to pick our kids up, then the developer could decide if he will do it. If they're not going to come to the meetings, then I'm not going to,
Well, I'm thinking about the kids, I'm not thinking about the.
Yeah, they're getting picked up. All right, anybody else?
That's good.
So Greg will meet again, we'll meet for this session 2 weeks. You can get this stuff turned around and get it to me next week. We'll have a business session. Maybe another month to get ready. We can always come back to the next business session.
So as far as community votes, before the business session, you need a drainage plan and landscape plan?
Yeah, because once they approve it, that's your approval to start construction and start building, and we don't want you to start doing that until we make sure that all that's accounted for, because basically a building permit to build that whatever square foot building, and you don't have enough drainage, it's kind of a moot point, right? So yeah, they want that done before, as part of this approval process. And they approve these at the business sessions. It doesn't have to be in 2 weeks, that's the schedule. We'll be here when you're ready. All right.
If I'm gonna turn it back into you, do I need to turn it into you by the 10th?
Need it by I'd like to have it by the 11th, a week from tomorrow. We prepare the packets on Thursdays and deliver them on Fridays, so I like to have everything by the end of the day on Wednesday before.
Where you had anything to come forward?
No, that's all I got. Appreciate y'all being flexible on our rotation here. If there's something you need to be more comfortable or don't like the way things are set up, let me know and we'll try to accommodate. But other than that, that's all I got.
No other business come forward, commission, and a motion to order to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Now, roll call.
You like that?